What's good, guys? So in this video, we're gonna take a successful SaaS, which is software as a service, and we're gonna try to analyze and see how we can possibly build it using a no-code tool such as Bubble or Appgyver. So there are a lot of successful SaaS apps. And one of the apps that caught my eye is this article right here talking about a specific app. So it says here, how I went from near bankruptcy to running an 88,000 MRR business. MRR stands for monthly recurring revenue. So essentially they're making 88K per month. And this is revenue. Obviously the profit is going to be slightly lower, but remember, this is software. And so the costs are not going to be very, very high. They're not selling physical products here. All right, so here's the full article. He says, my name is Wes Burke. For the past 12 years, I, along with my co-founder, have been working on a funny name project called CG Cookie. CG Cookie is a paid membership site focused on creating tasty online Blender education and resources for people around the world. And he talks a little bit about the background, how they build the app, what was the challenges, stuff like that. So this is a great interview. If you want to actually read this article, you can just Google for this title here and you're going to find this article. And so as you can see, it's making 59K, but I think that was published before. So now it's making 88K. This is how many visitors they have per month. And we can also go to their website, and this is what the website looks like. So the first thing you guys need to do is you guys need to go to the website and you guys need to understand what exactly they're doing. So this is actually a site that helps you to learn Blender. So our community is making awesome stuff with the guided help of our professional instructors. So you need to understand what Blender is, okay, in order to really get deeper into understanding the business model. So if we go to Google or Bing and you type Blender 3D, or you can even type Blender if you want, but you may get results for other things. So yeah, if you type Blender, you see Blender software tool. We're not talking about, a regular kitchen blender. This is something else, right? This is a software tool. And here's the thing, even if you don't know what Blender is, even if you have never used this tool, you as a business-minded person needs to kind of at least understand it, at least understand what exactly it does. You don't need to be an expert in Blender. You kind of need to know what it is, right, in order to build a successful app around it. And so here it says Blender, home of the Blender project. We're going to open that up, and here's where we are. Introducing Blender 3.1, create anything faster. Create what? Well, if you scroll down, you're going to see exactly what it is, right? If you scroll down, it says everything you need. Cycles, render engine, modeling, sculpt, UV, VFX. So I have no idea what all of these terms are, right? I'm not a 3D specialist. I'm not a 3D expert. But essentially what I've gotten from this, and I only saw Blender once before, so I'm not exactly an expert. What I understand it does, it allows you to create some kind of 3D animation, 3D scenes, 3D views, stuff like that. So if we take a look at some of these screenshots here, you can see that essentially it's kind of like this 3D modeling, right? 3D modeling. And here we have a scene here. And this could be useful for games, for animations, for creating pretty much anything 3D. That is what I got so far, okay? Animation rigging. If somebody has used Blender before or is an expert in this domain, let me know in the comments below so I better understand. Another thing you guys want to do is you want to go to Blender, to your search engine, and you want to type Wikipedia. I love Wikipedia, and Wikipedia is like a really quick and easy way of understanding what exactly it does. So it says here, Blender is a free and open 3D computer graphics software toolset used for creating animated films, visual effects, art, 3D printed models, etc., etc., etc. So essentially it allows you to do a lot of great stuff, a lot of very interesting stuff, right? So we have history of it, we have various versions. So that is all you really need to know. So take a look at this one, rendering of a house. This was done using Blender. That looks so realistic. If you ask me, I had no idea this is actually a rendering. I thought that was actually a picture. In any case, we do not need to go any further. We're not going to be, we're not trying to become experts in Blender. We are not trying to, get a job using doing 3D animation. We are business-minded people. We're trying to figure out what this project is all about. So they're helping people. They're basically helping people by creating courses that help you learn Blender. Okay, so now that we understood everything, let's go back to our main blueprint and start, drawing, designing, kind of sketching out the app. Okay, so here I prepared a little kind of blueprint that we need to fill out before we even start using one of the no-code tools in order to build the app. So we have MVP version 0.001. Let me explain to you why I wrote that. MVP stands for minimum viable product. We need to build something. In this case, if you're going to be doing something like CG Cookie, it needs to be very, very basic, right? This is why I said 0.001. We're not trying to create version 1.0. We're trying to do something good enough. Okay, good enough is a really nice phrase that you should familiarize yourself with. We need to create something that's good enough. Next, we have business. Okay, we need to approach this problem from a business perspective. We are not approaching from a software engineering perspective. We're approaching it from a purely business perspective. And so what is the purpose? Okay, the purpose is to create a platform for courses or trainings in a specific area. In this case, is Blender, could be anything else that you want. So platform for courses on subject X. Okay, that's kind of what you want. Let me make that a little bit smaller. All right, so it's nicely formatted. That is all. Your business, your purpose statement. Let's call this purpose statement. Okay, it's gonna be nice, short, and sweet. That is all you gotta do. We're not trying to build the next Microsoft. We're not trying to build the next Windows or the next, Mac OS operating system. We're just trying to build something very, very small. We're starting small. That is why this is 0.001. We're seeing if there's demand for it. This may not even work. Right? This may not even work. That's kind of the reality of business. And I've experienced this many, many times. If you look into some of the things I worked on, you're going to see a graveyard of failed ideas. But all you need is one successful idea, and you're going to become better at judging whether an idea is successful or not as you do this more often. All right? So that's it. Platform for courses on subject X. Now, admittedly, the subject is going to be important because we're not creating a generic kind of thing. So let's pick a subject. So this is going to be subject X is going to be our 3D animation or Blender. Okay, maybe we'll have another one. Maybe it's going to be Blender. Maybe it's going to be something else. Let's just call it Blender. Because we need to pick a subject. If we don't have a subject, we're not creating a Udemy clone, right? We're creating something specific. Next, let's talk about the design. Okay, so for the design, we have 3 areas. And this is in this order. We have the UI. We have a database or the model. Let me just call it a model because we don't know if it's going to be a database or it's going to be cloud-based or it's going to be relational-based. We do not know when we don't really care at this point in time. So we have UI, we have a model, and then we have logic. It's going to be done in this order. First, we're going to do the UI. Then we're going to do the model. And last but not least, we're going to tie it all together with logic. All right. So let's go back here. What is the UI, right? What is the UI? This is the homepage. What are they showing to us? This is a list view. They're showing to us a list of courses. Okay, so we're going to go back here and we're going to say list view. So I'm going to copy this. This is actually a nice font here. And I'm going to say a list of courses. Okay. Next, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to click on one. And what do we see? We see a detail screen. We have a title, we have a description, we have a call to action button, we have tags, we have a synopsis, kind of like the what the course is going to be about, what is different sections. We have modeling, We have rendering. Actually, this looks like a course I might want to take myself, right? Just to kind of understand what is Blender all about, because they're creating this thing here, right? And so this Blender course is, right, they have a little bit of kind of a sales page, okay? And then more sales page, all of this is a sales page. And then this is your instructor, right? Jonathan. You can also follow me on Twitter. And this is kind of like a post. It's really a detail, right? You can't really develop it in WordPress. It needs to be done using an app builder. And so if I hit subscribe, I have the sales page again. And I want to say, yes, I want to join. And it's going to cost me $288 per year. And they probably have some kind of a revenue share with, the people that provide the courses. They're a platform, from what I understand. So they probably have a revenue share. So a part of this revenue is gonna go to CG Cookie, but another part is gonna go to the instructor. I don't know the revenue split. I need to kind of learn more about it, but that's kind of the business model in a nutshell. All right, so we're here on the main courses page. Okay, so let's go back to our diagram here and copy and paste, and we're gonna say course detail. Okay, so that's kind of the next one, right? Course detail. What else are we missing? Well, there are different fields, right? So if we go back to this list view, this home page, what do we need to have? Well, this list view is going to display different things having to do with each of the various courses. And so as you can see, if you come in here, you see that it says there's some text here. And this could be a call to action text. There's some description here. We do not know if this is the same if we click on that. So in this case, it's the same. So it's the same field. This one and this one. So we need to have a couple of fields here. Well, more than a couple. So let's do that. Let's copy and paste. Make a little bit of space and start, putting in our fields. Title, okay? We also have description. Course length. Maybe chapters, course chapters, right? If we go in here, go back here, you see there's a modeling, there's a rendering, and then there's, sections and chapters, right? Because this doesn't fit into anything else. You can have this as one big text field, but I would recommend having it as different chapters, okay? That's what I would do. I would just break it up. I think that's a nicer approach. And so we have sections. And then we have chapters. Now, as you can see, I'm kind of running out of room, but you guys understand what exactly I'm doing here. All right, so we have list of courses, course detail, title, description, and we have more fields, right? So I'm just going to put an ellipsis here so that you guys see that there are more fields that we need to do. Next is the model. Okay, so what is the model? Actually, I was wrong. This is the model here. This is actually the model. Well, this is part of the model. Let me explain to you. These are views here, and this is actually right here. So if we have this here, this is the model. And the model is actually going to be courses or course. Actually, let's have it singular. Course, and then, if you have many of these, they're going to be courses. That is the model. And this is what I call our main entity, right? Because the model is essentially made up of entities, and every entity has a bunch of fields. So this is course. These are a bunch of fields. And this is our main entity. Now, of course, there could be various other entities, such as users, right? So we have course and we have user. User. All right? These are the main ones. Well, there's actually one more. Let's make a space here, and I'm going to put it here. We're going to have customers. So users, and these are going to be instructors. And these are going to be customers. That is kind of what you need in order to have your MVP. That is it. You don't need anything else. You don't need all kind of, the sprinkling up on top, the icing on the cake. You don't need any of that. You just need the basics. You gotta, listen, you gotta launch this thing. That is it. Like when I think about a new project, all I want to do is I want to launch it as soon as possible. I don't care if it has bugs. I don't care if I'm missing a bunch of, nice color scheme, or I finished that, or I didn't finish that. I want to get it out. I will, you know, fix it up later. I will make it better later, right? So we have a UI list of courses. We also need user registration, instructor registration, and we need user registration. So I will go even further, and I will say that instructor registration could be done manually. They can just email you and you can just do it manually. User registration needs to be done because we cannot, you know, users are not going to email us. Instructors will always, you know, the business providers, they will, you know, they will wait. They're patient. Users are not. If user cannot register, they're not going to email you. If they want to take the course, they're not going to email and say, hey, I want to take the course. They're just going to go somewhere else. You guys got to understand that. But instructors, if there's a lot of users, you know, you can always manually do this whole process, okay? And that's kind of it, right? List of courses, course detail, user reg, instructor reg, right? What else do we need? That's kind of it. You know, once you start building it, you're gonna add new things as you go along. But that's kind of what I'm seeing now. Maybe I'm missing something, but that is good enough to start. Model, course, instructors, customers. So this should be, let's just make it users. Users are customers, really. Course, instructors, users, and the model is going to have, we need the proper relationships, right? Because an instructor can have multiple courses, but a course cannot have multiple instructors. So it becomes a one-to-many relationship from instructors to courses, right? A course can only belong to one instructor, but an instructor can have multiple courses. So it's a one-to-many relationship. A user can take multiple courses. So it becomes a many-to-many relationship to courses. A course can have many users, and a user can have many courses, right? So as you can see, this becomes a many-to-many, but you know, instructors to courses becomes a one-to-many. So if that kind of makes sense. And guys, you know, you don't need to decide this now. You will understand as you start, you know, building it. So that's kind of what we have, right? So I can, you know, you can even do something like this if you want. One-to-many. All right. And then course to users is going to be many-to-many, right? Because a course can have many users and a user can take many courses. It becomes a many-to-many. So if you want to do that, you can do that. All right. I hope that's kind of clear. Now, let me know in the comments if you want me to kind of talk more about either the UI stuff, the views. I'm just going to call it views because it's not technically UI, it's really views. Or you want me to kind of talk more about the model. Maybe you're having problems with relationships and that kind of thing. And the logic we're going to get to in a second. So let's talk about the logic. What is the logic? Well, we're going to go in here. We're going to copy this and we're going to do logic. So the first logic is sign up, join, right? This is where the business starts. That is a logic that we're trying to get the user to create a new user, for the new user to be converted from a casual visitor to a paying customer, right? So this is going to be join, and we're going to say user, right? Because it kind of is connected to the users. Another thing we want to have is we want to have show list of courses. Next, we have show detail. These are all the things that happen. These are the actions that a person takes. Show detail, of course. All right, let's fix that up real quick. I hope this is clear to everybody at this point. We're going to do that. All right. Another thing we need to do is we need to register. So this is register, actually. And then if you want, and like I said, we're building an MVP, right? We can kind of ignore it, but if you really want, you can register an instructor. Like I said, this is not mandatory in the beginning. This is going to be mandatory and it's going to be useful later on. It's not going to be important right now, but it's there. So if we go back to this thing here, to this app, to this site, whatever you want to call it, we have subscribe, we have the view detail, okay? We scroll down. What do we have? No reviews, join now, right? So it's kind of it, right? So if we go back here, we need to register a user. We need to show a list of courses. We need to, so this is going to be too anonymous, and then maybe a dashboard for the user, right? So we may want a dashboard. All of that is going to be important, right? So dashboard, user dashboard. Now, guys, you have to think like businesses. The reason I say that this thing, register instructor or instructor registration view, is not mandatory is because the money is going to come from the users. The instructors are gonna come. The users are going to be a challenge. That is why I'm always focusing on the money, right? Remember, guys, business. It's all about business. Let's make it red, right? So it's just kind of better understood. You want to go where the money is. The money is going to be in the users. It's not going to be in the instructors. If you have, one course and you have a ton of users, trust me, the instructors will come and they will wait for you to manually register, and they will, ask you if they've been registered yet or not, because they'd want to make money by creating courses and stuff like that. So we have register users, show list of courses, show detail of courses, and this is obviously going to be to anonymous viewers before they're converted to a paying customer. We have a register instructor, which is going to be kind of not, it's going to be, in the beginning, it's going to be optional. But what I want to show you, so if we take this and we take this, you see how we have two methods that having to do with users. These are going to be important. Register and dashboard. We want to cater to our users. It's very important to cater to our users, right? We're going to go in here. We're going to go in here. Register instructor, show list, show detail. That is kind of what we want. Show list of courses. Show detail of a course, okay? And that is our MVP in the beginning. Now, I probably missed something because sitting on my computer comfortably here and designing it is obviously, I may miss a couple of things here and there, but this is a perfect start. This is how you start. This is how you get started, and this is how you build it. Remember, guys, you want to build your 0.001 or maybe even 0.1. You want to get that thing out as soon as possible. Later on, you can add all the nice bells and whistles. You can add a nice color scheme. You can have an image. Yeah, an image is important. So that's going to be another field. You're going to add everything. You want to make sure, is there a business demand? Are there hungry users that have been waiting for a long time for this kind of product? And that is how you develop your MVP for this product that is now making 88K monthly revenue. And this article was actually published, I believe, half a year ago. So, they're probably making even more money now. Just something to keep in mind. All right, guys. So with that, I'm going to close out this video. I'm going to wrap it up right here. I hope you've gotten value here. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything I can do to help you even further get this MVP out the door. I would really, really love for you guys to actually go out and design it. Now, like I said, you can design it in Bubble, you can design it in Appgyver, you can design it in any app builder you want. It's completely app builder agnostic. It doesn't matter which app builder you want to use. That is why I'm not talking about a specific app builder. But this should get you started. I really hope you've gotten value in this video. If you did, give this video a fat like. That is super important for this channel, because that way more people are going to see this and more people are going to come in. They're going to learn it and they're going to provide their feedback, and we're going to learn from each other. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave a comment below. And if you like NoCode, or you just want to develop software without writing a single line of code and you want to sell the software, you want to make money, or you just want to do it, for your own knowledge, for your own entertainment, you just want to learn something new, make sure to definitely subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss any future videos. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you real soon.